Hey everybody, this is Cromar with TGN, and I'm here today to bring you some more Rift footage. And today we're looking at Codex. This is the Warfront that starts at 20 through 29 and continues on up to 50, the 50 bracket. And I'm going to show you here as a Saboteur rogue, a Sabo rogue. And basically it's based around standing in the back and throwing bombs at people. It's pretty simple. So we're going to show you, I'm going to show you here how to use a Sabo, what kind of damage they do, which is significant, and a lot of the different features of the class. Like here is somebody trying to grab the control point. No, not going to happen. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually blocking them from grabbing this control point by hitting just shrapnel charge, detonate, shrapnel charge, detonate. Because the way that Sabos work is they build up combo points with their charges, and then they detonate them. The charges do no damage until they're detonated, so it's kind of odd. While you're stacking up charges, you're doing nothing, but then there's a huge burst. In this case, I'm only stacking one and exploding them in order to prevent them from capping, and this is going to work for quite a while. Now, this is a very tight game, very competitive game, and yeah, there we go. They finally got it. I actually went back and looked at this footage to figure out how the hell they managed to get that with me stopping them. But it looks like somebody actually blocked a shrapnel charge, which is funny because I didn't know they even could do that until I saw that footage. So that explains that. But anyway, now that you're thoroughly confused, let me just explain how this works. And there's a convenient shot of the map. The Codex is Arathi Basin from WoW. If you played, that's exactly the same as Arathi Basin. The only difference is that there's only 4 control points instead of 5, and one of the control points, which is called the Codex, obviously, is the most important one. It actually grants more points than the others, slightly more, not twice as much more, but slightly more. I believe it's if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 3 per tick for everything else and 5 per tick for the Codex. But I could be wrong. And you also get points for killing people too. And the first team to get to 1,000 points wins. That's the objective. So if you look in there, the Guardian, which is blue, is at 154, and the Defiant, which is red, is 83. Excuse me. And right now, if you look at the other thing on the UI, you can see that the Defiant controls Codex. You can see that the Guardian controls Statue of Thontic and the Vault. And the last one is the Scope, is still controlled by Defiant, but we've capped it and it's turning over. So I'm presenting this largely unedited, but I'm going to skip the resing because that's pretty boring. But anyway, now that we have three control points other than Codex, we're gaining, I think, 9 points per tick compared to 5. So this is an advantage for us. So if you control 3, you're going to win. Or if you control the Codex plus one other one, you're going to win very slightly, because it's like 8 to 6 at that point. So that's just a couple different strategies you can do. The way the map's laid out, if you remember seeing the map earlier, is the along the north end of the map you have the graveyards, and then you have the three of the control points. You have Statue on the west side, Guardian side, Codex in the middle, in between these convenient rocks here for artillery. And then on the east side you have the Scope on the Defiant side, and then on the south, kind of out by itself, is the Vault. And the Vault's not worth any more than the other ones, just the fact that it's remote makes the strategy a little different. And in this video, I'm not actually going to go to the Vault. And I thought about while filming this, actually going down there just to show you. But there's really no strategic value to that, and honestly, there's nothing to show. It's just, there's a little bit of water, and then there's the Vault, and there's just another flag. But you can picture it in your head. The Vault is most easily taken by like solo people, assassins. A lot of people like to play assassins in Warfronts, and assassins are extremely weak in big battles, like the ones that I pour my Saboteur in, because they don't do AOE damage. They only do single target. And although they're pretty good for assassinating clerics, the problem is that if you're a melee, you really need to be a warrior. You need to be someone who's really, really tough. Unfortunately, assassins just aren't that. So if you're playing like an assassin or a Nightblade, single target, what you want to do is avoid the big battles and go for the one-on-one battles, which is where you excel, and go to like the Vault and try to assassinate somebody and take it. But anyway, back to the big battles. You see, I just keep going back to Codex over and over again, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's where all the big battles are, and it's where my particular class, the Sabo, does the best. It's basically just with massive AOE damage, massive burst damage on healers, that kind of stuff. One-on-one, the Sabo is not as effective. It can be if you get the jump on people and manage to get a burst, a full detonate off. Oh, here we go. Let me pause it here. What I did there, if you missed it, is I just sapped a guy. It's about to wear off now, and then ninja capped it. I was so proud of myself. My build here is Sabo with Nightblade as secondary, so I do have some very basic stealth and a sap ability. But of course, nobody backed that up, so I instantly died. But anyway, what I was saying about the Sabo one-on-one is that if you can manage to get some charges built up and get a Deado off right immediately at the start, then they're going to be hurting. At that point, you can try to kite them a bit while you get off your next charge, because it generally takes 2 full rounds of charges to kill somebody. After a much higher level, you get an ability that allows you to put 5 charges on instantly on a long cooldown. I don't have that yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. So I will get that as soon as I can and make a video about it. So here, some crafty person has killed our flag guard here, or not killed. Maybe they're just standing around doing nothing. So quickly blew him up, and I see somebody else is capping statues, so I'm not worried about it. We lost very little points from that short-term cap. It's not a problem. So let's come back here, see if I can do something crafty at Codex. Probably not. As see, they are all standing around like a bunch of little ants. And I'm just trying to decide, who do I want to kill? There, I just, I was trying to sap him. Something didn't work or something. Anyway, there's another attack for the Nightblade stealth attacks, which is a disorient for 2 seconds at a ranged. It's pretty awesome, and it works really well for Sab. You can just open with that, and then get a couple charges off before they're able to react. So there's a 5 stack and a Deado for a decent crit, 1386. And it's funny watching this footage because I'm actually recording this audio and rendering this like 2 or 3 days after I recorded the video. So my Sabo is actually a little higher level, and I'm seeing crits of like 1900 normally at my level, which is I forget, 35ish I think when I go into PvP. So seeing 1300 1400 is pretty quaint. But anyway, so let's see how I do solo against this guy. I've got the level advantage. Oh, there he had backup. There's another mage there. That's too bad. So what's happened here is a pretty big disaster. You know, we've been just barely hanging on to this lead, and now they've capped three different control points while I was screwing around, jumping off of boulders and stuff. That was pretty stupid. And they completely have the vault. We're gonna get the statue back. Yeah, we got it back already. That was fast. And the scope, I'm not sure about that. It's really hard to get the scope back because of where it is, right next to the Defiant Graveyard and all. Just like it's hard for them to get statue. So somebody assaulted the vault. I was gonna go see the vault. I think you can kind of see it on the right here. If you look over the bridge. Where am I going? I'm just going off in the middle of nowhere. Gonna get killed by this Defiant real quick. Yeah, getting owned. Good God. What a waste. Wow, that's a lucky respawn. It wasn't edited or anything. Just straight on 1 second. Alright, so let's do something a little more useful, a little less stupid here with this next res. I really do love this class for PvP. Also PvP as a bard. Oh yeah, there's some action. Nope. Don't even think about it, buddy. I also like PvP as a bard because it's the support you gain to give to the group is enormous. But mainly for not for this place, but for Black Garden, because of the support you give to your Fang carrier. That's the one that's like the. It's not a Black Garden is like the only battleground here that isn't just a direct copy off of WoW. It's pretty cool. We have a few videos up for that actually. So anyway, yeah, big attack here on the statue. This was looking real bad because not only did they control Codex and we couldn't take it from them, but they were actually pushing out towards statue, which is, you know, if a team can actually do that, they're fairly dominant. It's like pushing towards stables in Arathi Basin with a major group, not just with like 1 or 2 stragglers. But they've run into too many of our rezzers, and they're not gonna get anywhere with that. And this may have actually been a big mistake by them, because maybe they pushed out a little too early. You see the Defiant also taking a slight lead now, thanks to owning the Codex and Scope, while we only own the other 2. And we only owned 1 for a while. We only owned the statue for quite a while. But yeah, back at the Codex, there's only a couple people. See if I can't sap somebody. There we go. Ah, dang it. My ninja attempt was broken up. Oops. I hate it when I tab onto a pet. It's so annoying. There we go. Yeah, so we just dominated this battle. I think what happened here is the Defiant, like, 3/4 of their Codex group attacked Statue and left not enough people behind to guard Codex, and we were able to snag it this late in the game, which is a huge get this late in the game. Meanwhile, Defiant took Vault, but that's a I'll make that trade any day. That's a perfectly good trade for me, as long as we can keep Statue. See ya. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, this is a very tight game. I'm not sure why I just opened my weaponsmithing there. So they've got, as you can see, the strategy with your range is to stand on this rock. You saw me do it quite a bit earlier, but if you can actually get up on the enemy's rock, then they're just standing there not knowing what to do. Of course, it's best to do that if you're like a warrior or a champion or something, not a fragile Sabo like me, who's just going to get freaking owned as soon as I come up here. So that was a mistake. So, 1 res later, and we control Codex and Statue, and that's going to give us a slight lead in points gained. So you see we're still behind by about 20. So after a few ticks, we're going to pass them. We're going to pass them up 2 per tick. So what is that? 10 ticks? Yeah, that's close. That's super close. So here's somebody trying to even a score here. Sorry. Oh, we got an assault on the vault. Thank you, God. Somebody took care of that. I took care of this guy. Oh, annoying paladins with their stupid instant heal. Paladins have a 10-minute cooldown heal that they instantly heal themselves to full. And this guy decided to be a dick and use it right now, even when it's totally pointless. Totally pointless. Of course, it's something you use in a group, you know, in a big group battle, when you're the focus of the DPS. But no, not solo when it's completely pointless. What a dumbass. Alright, so now that they're only gaining 3 per tick, we're gaining 8 per tick, we have passed them up very quickly, much faster than we would have otherwise. And now we've broken 900, and there's only 1 minute left. You'll notice the timer, basically, if the timer runs out, then whoever has the highest score wins. And the timer is pretty brutal. I mean, I have had games end with the timer running out before, which is kind of interesting. But so here we go again. This is the same old game. Shrapnel, Deado, Shrapnel, Deado, Shrapnel, Deado. Nope. It doesn't matter at this point. We're ahead by enough that even if we lost the Codex, we'd be fine. We'd be fine. But I still like to pretend that I'm doing some, hero work here by preventing them from capping. But in reality, it's just making the game end faster. Almost there. 2 more. 1 more. There we go. Yay! 1,899. Very tight game. Very good effort by the Defiant. I think it all came down to that one maneuver where they attacked us at Statue. They all died and gave us enough time to take Codex back. I think that's. I think that was the whole game right there, and very, very tough. But anyway, so that's all from me today for Codex and the Sabo Rogue. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit about how Codex works and how the Sabo works in PvP. Thanks for watching. This is Cromar with TGN TV.